I'm going to have a go at doing a video showing you how to adapt the translation tools. First of all, I'm going to go for the simple, easy one, which is the translation tool here that you can import from our website that enables you just to jump from a symbol-based vocabulary, translate, and then go back again. So I'm just going to open that now. So the first thing you're obviously going to want to do, I'm going to have a go at doing the Kima language. I hope that I've pronounced that correctly. So what you'll need to do first of all is to go into your settings page down the bottom right hand corner here. Okay, and then what I want to do is to add the Kima language into the cell. So to do that, I'm going to go into edit mode like so. I can skip the talking pizza. So what I'm going to do here is cheat a little bit, and I'm literally going to copy the Polish symbol. So I'm going to right click and do copy, and then I'm going to paste that symbol over here. So basically you're just changing what's already in the cell. So the first thing I want to do is to change the symbol at the top here. So we've got an image button at the top here. So I can click on the button. So I'm now going to, what I will now do, because I can't find a symbol for it, I'm just going to do a web search for Kima, and I might just type in the word flag just so I can find a suitable symbol. Obviously you can find something that you like. So I can press OK. So that's the flag, and then obviously I'll want to change the text on screen, so that's similar. Okay, now the next important thing to do is there's an option here called Execute Advanced Programming, and it's saying set source, and that at the moment is doing PL, and that's for Polish. Now the magic bit that you need to do now is to find out the country code that Google uses for that particular language. So in order to do that, I will just open up Google just so you can see what's happening, and basically all you need to type into here is Google, there you go, you can see I've been doing this before, Google Translate one. Let's try this one. There we go, so that's got a list of all the symbols. So what I'll now need to do is to scroll down, and there we go, there's the language Kima, and I can see that that's the letters KM, so that's the important bit. So I'll just close that down. So what I would now do is I'm going to edit this script here. I'm going to press the little edit button, and I'm going to set that to KM like so. The other bit to change is this ID where it says source PL, and that is done under the properties cell, and I'm going to now set that to source KM. Okay, so you can now see I'm just duplicating a page. So what I'm going to now do is cheat a little bit, grab that cell because I've got most of it programmed in. I'm going to do copy, and then I'm going to paste over to the other cell over here. But I do need to change this, so because I need to make it like the other one. So at the moment that's saying Polish, and you can see that that's doing execute advanced programming set destination. So I can actually, well, I know what the letter is, so I'll just highlight the whole thing. Control C for copy on my keyboard, or right click and copy, and then I'm going to click on there, and I'm going to paste that new message, and again I need to set that to KM. I'm sure you can see another way of doing that as well, but that's fine. So that's saying KM, and then obviously I need to change the ID of the cell. So that will need to say dest underscore KM, like so. So you can now see that that's doing the same sort of thing that that Polish button does, destination KM. That's good. So I now need to go to some other pages. So we can click on that, and we can go to this page here, page 3. And this is important to set this as well. So again, this is just where you can set the voices, but you do need to set this in. Now again, what I can do is cheat, and I can paste my cell back in from what I did earlier, but I do need to make it just like this. So rather than it saying voice PL, it needs to say voice underscore KM. Okay, that's the important bit, voice KM. But we also need to look at the, you can see that this has an action voice, change voice, so I'll need to do the same with that one. So a useful trick here, I don't know if you know this one, but if I want to copy an action from one cell to another, if I hold down the Shift key on the keyboard when I click on that pen, that copies that action into the clipboard. And now when I click on Keyma, I can delete that action. And if I hold down the Shift key when I click Add Action, it just duplicates that other action from the other cell. And obviously I would now do is go and change this to a particular language, but obviously we don't have, I don't know if there is a Keyma voice synthesizer, but if there was, you'd have to go and install it. So I'm just, in the time being, I'll just try something like Arabic because I've got that installed on my machine. I know that may not be exactly suitable. And then lastly, I can see that these cells have this little red cross through them here. So and that's done by setting it not to be selectable, just for the sake of tidiness. Okay, now obviously we need to do a save, and now if I come out of edit mode, I can go to my settings, and I can now say that I want to go from English to Keyma, like so, and then I can go back to the top page. Yes, that's all ready to go. Now, so if I just go, that little button there will take me back to my portal. So I'm just going to import a, doesn't really matter, online page sets. It doesn't, I can just go and choose a simple vocab that I know I've got on here, so we could choose that one. Doesn't really matter. So what you could then do, so I've got this vocabulary. Now what I want to do is put a cell that will link to my translation tool. So I'm just going to go into edit mode with F2. I'll just click on that and just put in a cell. There is such a symbol. Okay, doesn't really matter too much. I'll just use that one for the time being. Translate. So what we'll need to do is to add an action to this cell that will go to another page set within this document. If I can find that, different page set. So we can click on that, and then I can make that jump straight to the translation tool, not the translate one. Okay, that's it. So I'll press tick on that. I'll now put some message.
I want to talk to you.
Okay, so now hopefully when you click translate, it should just jump straight to the translation tool, and then it'll automatically translates. But obviously I'd need a correct voice synthesizer installed that could recognize that text. This arrow button here is going back to the previous document. Oh, that's clever. Okay, so I'll just check that.
I'm fine.
Again, so I go back to my top page and translate. There we go, that's done a translation, and then going back, that's jumping back to the vocabulary that we were from before.